What's good, everybody? It's the GOAT, Aaron Brown. And before this video start, be sure to follow me on Instagram. It's linked down below in the description. Subscribe to my channel. And if you appreciate the videos I make, be sure to hit the thanks button right above the comment section and become a member of the channel as well. It's linked in the description down below. Let's jump straight into it. So we saw that earlier in the week, we had a tragic loss of the Ugandan distance runner who resided in Kenya, Rebecca Cheptegei. She got out of church. Her ex-boyfriend pulled up to her house while she was there with her kids, and they had a dispute over the land that she owned and property that she owned. And he got so angry to the point where he poured gas all over her, set her on fire. 80% of her body was caught on fire and burned, in which her organs failed a few days later, and she succumbed to her injuries and later died. But in the midst of his fool ass setting her on fire, he ended up setting himself on fire too, where he burned 30% of his body. And it's just now coming out, well, it came out yesterday, but he died from his injuries as well. Now, they were initially saying that his injuries weren't that bad, so it's kind of suspicious that he died from these injuries. A lot of people believing that it's foul play on the hospital people, and they got get back and somehow killed him because of the actions that he decided to take part in when it came to Rebecca. And people really aren't mad about it because, like her dad said, more than likely he's going to leave the hospital and he's not going to be charged, and he'll probably just move and he'll be all right. But just because he's dead now, that doesn't mean this is going to stop. This is the 4th time this has happened with just a runner in the last like 5 years in Kenya. So if it's happened 4 times with like just popular runners that we know, just imagine all the regular people that it's happening with, the ones that's not getting reported on. And like I often say, at the end of the day is going to end. The whole ordeal is just crazy, but the BBC wrote about this whole story, and they wrote, the former boyfriend of Ugandan Olympic athlete Rebecca Cheptegei, who was killed by getting set on fire. Her ex-boyfriend has sustained injuries in the attack, the Kenyan's hospital official said. Dickson Ndiema ambushed the marathon runner as she returned home from church more than a week ago, then doused her in petrol and set her ablaze. Local administration said the two had been in conflict over a small piece of land in northwest Kenya, where Cheptegei lived and trained. Ndiema died on Monday night at the intensive care unit, where, according to the hospital, he had been admitted with burns more than 40% of his body. See, at first they were saying he only had 30% burns, and now it's burns 40% of his body. It also mentioned he developed respiratory failure as the result of severe airway burns and sepsis that led to his eventual death on Monday evening. Cheptegei died last Thursday, 4 days after she was attacked. She suffered burns more than 80% of her body. So pretty much her whole body was just barbecued over a small piece of land that she owned. And the article also mentioned that Cheptegei's death shocked people across the world, with fellow Ugandans saying she was an inspiration to them. The 33-year-old athlete was the 3rd female athlete to be killed in Kenya over the last 3 years. In each case, the current or former romantic partner were named the main suspect by police. And it also listed funeral arrangements for her. It says she's set to be buried this upcoming Saturday at her ancestral home in Uganda. Attacks on women have become a major concern in Kenya. In 2022, at least 34% of women said they had experienced physical violence, according to a national survey. So clearly it's a popular and growing issue out there, and it's one that's not really reported as much because it seemed like it's the norm. But I'm just glad in this situation, some type of justice was served and he didn't get to like walk away scotch-free, as most people in Rebecca Cheptegei's family was even saying that he more than likely would, just because of the culture there. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this whole thing down below in the comments. Be sure to subscribe to my channel. Until next time,